They laughed. My own brother pointed at me and said, "The family disappointment." The entire room joined in, and in that moment, I felt my heart shatter, but little did anyone know. I had already been winning. Silently. What happened next left everyone speechless. If you've ever been underestimated, laughed at, or dismissed, hit that subscribe button. Like this video, comment below, and witness a story where humiliation transforms into perfect, calculated revenge. Let's dive in. My name is Clara Mitchell, and for nearly my entire life, I was invisible. My brother Daniel Goldenchild, charming, athletic, adored, was the star of every family story. Me? Quiet, bookish, overlooked. At family dinners, Daniel's every accomplishment was celebrated. I once won a regional writing contest in high school. My mother barely looked up. My father muttered, "That's nice, honey." That was it. Whenever. I dared to dream, my father scoffed. "Business isn't for everyone, Clara. Leave it to people like Daniel." Those words became my mantra and my fuel. Growing up, Daniel had everything. Elite schools, cars, internships. I worked part-time jobs to pay for community college, scraping by, invisible in my family's eyes. But behind the scenes, I was learning, building, preparing. Late nights with business books, spreadsheets, trial and error. By 25, I had my first LLC. 3 years later, it had grown into a nationwide brand, serving schools, law firms, and government offices. Millions quietly in my bank account. The family still thought I was stacking shelves at a grocery store. The day of Daniel's wedding, I felt that familiar knot in my stomach. Weddings in my family weren't about love. They were stages for Daniel's glory. The ceremony was beautiful. Melissa, his bride, radiant. Everyone clapped. Everyone smiled. I forced a polite smile, keeping to the shadows, dreading what was coming. At the reception, Daniel grabbed the microphone. He praised everyone, then paused, smirking at me. And last but not least, Clara, the family disappointment. Laughter. Erupted. My cheeks burned. My hands gripped my champagne glass, knuckles white. Daniel wasn't finished. She works at the grocery store, stacking shelves, ringing up canned beans. But hey, at least she made it tonight. Let's give her a round of applause. Half-hearted claps. Awkward laughter. My parents' eyes flitted nervously. My stomach churned, but inside me, a cold fire ignited. This was expected. I smiled just enough to hide my storm. I knew something. Daniel didn't. I was already winning, silently. The first spark came from Greg, the best man. He leaned to the microphone and casually said, "Funny thing about Clara. While some of us thought she was at the grocery store, she's actually running Mitchell Supplies, one of the most successful office supply companies in the country." Silence. The room froze. Daniel's grin faltered. My parents' jaws dropped. Cousins whispered, "She's a millionaire?" I sipped my champagne, calm. "Thank you, Greg." Some of us like to let results speak for themselves. Eyes widened. Mouths hung open. Daniel sputtered, searching for words, trying to laugh it off. He couldn't. The room buzzed with disbelief. It was the first taste of the revenge I had been savoring for years. Not explosive, not loud. Simple, undeniable truth. That night was only the beginning. Daniel thrived on image, on attention, on admiration. I would take that from him, not by confrontation, but by quiet, escalating strategy. I began leveraging subtle social proof. Casual mentions at networking events, social media posts hinting at my achievements, Forbes features, keynote speeches. Clients and investors noticed me. Slowly, Daniel's sphere of influence began to shrink as mine expanded. He tried to compete, to reclaim attention, but he was slow, predictable, impulsive. I was patient, meticulous. Every misstep he made, I quietly leveraged. Every boast he threw in my direction, I countered with calm, documented success. Months later, Daniel was about to close a major investment for a startup he bragged about endlessly. Without telling him, I scheduled a pitch with the same investors. I walked in, professional, prepared, confident. I presented my company's nationwide contracts, projected revenue, and expansion strategy. By the end, investors withdrew their interest from Daniel and offered me a partnership. I let Daniel discover it the way everyone does, through whispered conversation, subtle hints, the crushing reality that his golden boy image meant nothing without substance. At the next family gathering, I arrived quietly. No speeches, no drama. The room buzzed when I walked in. My parents whispered. Daniel avoided eye contact. I mentioned casually that my company was expanding to triple revenue next year. Gasps, whispers. Daniel's face drained of color. The silence was deafening. No words from me, no confrontation, just undeniable truth. The family's golden child humbled, not with noise, but with reality. Sitting later, I realized revenge isn't about cruelty. It's about reclaiming dignity, proving your worth, and teaching lessons without losing yourself. Years of being underestimated had hurt, yes, but they also prepared me. Every insult, every laugh, every dismissive glance became fuel. The real revenge was transformation, patience, and undeniable success, because the best revenge is silent, strategic, and perfect. What about you? Have you ever been underestimated, laughed at, or dismissed? Share your story in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon, because sometimes the sweetest revenge is watching justice unfold quietly, perfectly, and undeniably. Thanks for watching.